Welcome back to Just Scribble. I am hosting a wedding shower at work for one of my employees that's getting married. And whenever I host a shower for work, whether it be a wedding shower or a baby shower, I always like to have some sort of favor to set out and give to everybody when they come to the shower, because it kind of sets that event apart from other things that we do as a department. It just makes it a little bit more special. And for this shower, I decided that the favors would be candy bars, full-size Hershey candy bars. Everyone will get a plain Hershey candy bar as well as an almond Hershey candy bar. And I have covered the candy bars with some scrap paper and added wax seals to them to decorate them, just to make them a little bit more special and to kind of match the little bit of decor that we are putting up at this shower at work. So I'm going to insert some pictures and videos here to show you guys what I have done to kind of create this little candy bar favor. I took some scrapbook paper that I got at Michael's and cut it to size, and then used my Tombow permanent adhesive to attach those to the outside of the candy bars, letting the gold and the silver kind of peek out of the edges. And then I created wax seals to put on top of them with the heart stamp that I got from Craspire that I shared in my last Craspire video. And so I actually used the glue gun method to make all of the wax seals. I bought some wax at Hobby Lobby, and I used my glue gun to do mass-produced seals because I was doing 48 of these candy bars. But I am actually short 4 wax seals. I didn't get as many wax seals out of the copper wax as I did out of the sort of pearlescent wax. So this is the pearlescent that I did, and then this is the copper, and I'm short 4 of the copper ones. So what I was going to do was create them myself with some of the little wax beads that I got from Craspire, and I thought it might be a nice little video to show you another way that you can use wax seals. So I'm actually missing the wax seals for these 4 regular chocolate candy bars. So after the wax seals are made, we will actually color them all in silver, because I did color the hearts on the seals gold for the almond that have the gold peeking out, and silver for the plain that have the silver peeking out. And so that way everyone will get 2. So they will get one that has a gold heart and one with a silver heart. So they will get an almond and a plain. So we're going to make the 4 wax seals together, color them, and then adhere them to these chocolate bars so you can check out the process. Like I said, this is just scrapbook paper that I cut to size and wrapped around. I did do 4 different patterns. The plain chocolate bars have these distress papers, this one in coffee color and this one in a dark blue. And then the almond bars have 2 different wood grain scrapbook papers. But I'm going to set the chocolate aside because I don't want it near the flame. I'm going to move my furnace, and we're going to light my candle. I'm going to set that on top. And I'm going to put my spoon there, and we are going to make some wax seals. So I have my marble plate here and my wax seal. We're using the stamp that has the heart on it. Because these are going on a chocolate bar, I obviously don't want to pour hot wax directly onto a chocolate bar because I don't want the chocolate bar to melt. So what I did instead is I'm making them on my marble plate, and then I'm coloring them with the pens that I got from Craspire. And then I'm actually attaching them to the paper with Tombow permanent adhesive. I could have made the wax seals directly on the paper that I cut and then wrapped the paper and attach it to the chocolate bars, but I was afraid I might mess up a wax seal and then I would be short some paper. So I decided that this was the best way. So I do not have any wax seal beads that are the same as the copper that I'm using. So what I did was I pulled out some beads from my little set that I got with my Craspire beginner set, and we're just going to put them together and kind of mix up our own color. It's not going to match exactly to the copper that's on the rest of them, but I'm okay with that. I will just kind of disperse the 4 that look a little bit different around the room so that way nobody really notices. But I thought that if I mixed up the colors that I have here, a gold, a copper, a bronze, a red, and like a rose gold kind of pinky color, I thought I might get something close. That's my hope. If any of you guys have wax sealed or do wax seal, what kind of creative ways have you used wax sealing? I have a few ideas that I want to share with you guys on a future video, but I thought that this would be a fun video because if you were doing a birthday party for a friend or a shower, or even at the holidays, if you wanted to give a really nice chocolate bar to someone for a Christmas present, I thought that this idea of wrapping them and decorating them might be nice. We're almost melted. Like I said, I know that this color isn't going to match exactly, but I thought it would be a pretty color nonetheless. So we are going to pour that. And then let our wax seal sit. And I'll go ahead and put the next set of beads in there. I should have really made this kind of off to the side. I have found that I can actually make 3 seals on the plate at once if I time it right and I put the wax down and then put my seal down and then move to the next one, pour it down, and so on. Because it takes a little bit for them to cool so that you can get them off of the plate. Obviously it is different than the copper, but I think it's really pretty. I do have another set of wax beads that's not from Craspire that I bought on Amazon that I am looking to use sometime soon, but I wanted to just use some of the pieces that I got from Craspire first before I opened up that set. So there we have our beautiful heart. So while that is finishing melting, we're going to go ahead and color this in with the silver. Now the glue ones that I did yesterday with the glue stick wax is a little bit different. It's a little bit more like glue and less like candle wax. So it does work a little different. You do have to wet your stamp head before you press it down. Otherwise your stamp head can stick. But there we have a beautiful heart wax seal ready for our candy bar. I think it is going to be awesome. So we're going to set that aside. Let that dry, and I'm going to pour this one. Set the stamp. Oops. Add the wax beads for the next round. Pull off that. And then we'll make the other 2, and when this one is cool, we'll pull it up and color it. Do you guys ever find a new hobby, or a hobby that maybe you did when you were younger, because I did wax seal when I was younger, that you get back to and you just love it, and you're trying to figure out all the ways that you could use this hobby because you really just want to play with it? That is actually one of the ways I came up with the favors that I planned with these chocolate bars, is because I really wanted to be able to incorporate wax seals into the favors. It does take a little bit of time for your wax to melt. Go ahead and color this one in. The main reason that I decided to color the hearts is because the heart didn't show up very well on the pearlized. It was just not very obvious because there was no real color to this. And so I decided that I would go ahead and color them, and since the pens that I happen to have were gold and silver, it happened to match really well to the colors of the packaging for the Hershey bars. I actually don't eat candy bars, and I hadn't realized that years ago apparently Hershey's stopped using the paper wrapper with like the foil on their candy bars, and that's actually what I really wanted, was that foil paper kind of candy bar. But these work out quite well, I think. I still think that they're going to be pretty and tasty. Everyone is going to enjoy them. Ooh, I'm sure. So we're just going to do 4 beads in that one because we have some left over. And we'll set this guy back in the bag. I kind of like the mixed color version of wax seals better than the solid version. I think that it's pretty how it has different colors in it. I probably wouldn't normally do this many colors in one wax seal. It's just what I had available. There's that one, and then this will be our last one. They do sell stirring sticks where you can actually stir and mix up the colors. So I could have mixed these up if I had one, and I probably would have come out with more of a bronzy color if I had one. I might have to add the stir stick to my order. I actually have a Craspire order in my cart, but I haven't actually placed the order yet because my kiddo had picked out a stamp head for Christmas time that he wanted, and I can't remember which one it was. And so I wanted to double check with him and make sure that I was ordering the one he wanted us to get for sending out Christmas cards, because he wants to use it on his letter to Santa. So he's very excited about putting a wax seal on his letter to Santa. I'm gonna blow out the candle. We're gonna pour that. Place our head. And you don't have to press down. I've seen some people do it and they're really pressing down on their wax seal. But the seal heads, at least the ones from Craspire, these are heavy enough that you don't have to actually do that. You literally can just set it on there and it will press a beautiful seal. You don't have to go to all the trouble of pressing down or putting any pressure on there yourself. Take that off. We'll color this one. Oop. Should let that cool just a little bit longer. Now we have 3, and then this is our last one. It's still a little warm, so we'll wait to color it. It's such a pretty color that it made in my little spoon. Now to get your spoon clean, you can just wipe it with a paper towel when it is still wet like this but not too hot, or you can wait until it cools and you can pull the wax out. But if you let it sit for a couple of days, it can be really hard to get the wax out. And if that happens, just light your little furnace again and stick your spoon on it until it gets a little soft or it melts just a little bit, and then you can wipe it out with a paper towel. It's pretty easy cleanup. There is our 4th seal. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying some of these down. I am using Tombow permanent adhesive because I want them to stick and I want them to stay. I don't think if I used the non-permanent they would stay as well. You could use a glue gun and put a little dot of glue there or some other permanent glue, but I found this to work quite well. And on the flat candy bars, you can just put your Tombow adhesive directly onto the paper, and then you just stick your wax seal down on there. On the almond candy bars, it's a little bit harder because they are curved. And so on those, I put a little bit on the paper, but it was harder to get on there. So on those, I actually put it on the back of the wax seal. And so I literally just flipped it over and put it on the back. Look how pretty. But I find this process to be easier, just putting it on the paper directly. And then this is our last one. Not perfectly centered, but pretty good. Let me scoop the extra stuff out of the way. So now we have 4 candy bars that have their wax seals on them. And then these are the style that I did with the glue gun wax seal method. I like this method using the furnace better just as a creative because it is very relaxing. But if you are batch sealing, the glue gun is much easier. It would have taken me a very long time to do 44 of them on the furnace. The glue gun worked awesome. But that's my video on the favors that I'm doing for a wedding shower using my Craspire wax seals. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below and I will definitely get back with you. Make sure you do check out my first video on Craspire so that you can see everything that I got in my haul from Craspire. I will put a link to their shop as well as a discount code down below in the description box. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.